Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. This is a rather unusual story and I gotta tell you, the Ignition Time channel, as you know by now, is not just a stimulus channel. It's a channel about the country, it's a channel about the economy, and it's a channel about your money. Nothing affects money in your pocket more than the next stimulus package, and nothing affects the next stimulus package more than the nature of the administration, the makeup of the administration. And speaking of the administration, this is unusual. I think we should ask ourselves, why would a senator from South Carolina actually call individuals in Georgia, not just Georgia, but also Nevada and Arizona, to ask questions about the election? And what was that person's underlying motive? I'm not here to question Senator Lindsey Graham's motives. I'm here to tell you what went on. And I want you to listen to the Georgia Secretary of State on your own and be the judge for yourself. So here's the news. The Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, accused South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who actually called him and spoke with him on the phone, a Republican. Keep in mind, they're both Republicans, okay? They're both Republicans, in case you're thinking that this is some sort of a partisan thing. They're both Republicans. So the Georgia Secretary of State accused Senator Lindsey Graham of indicating he should throw out legally cast ballots. This is huge. This is just unbelievable that we're even discussing this. But guess what? It's been an unbelievable year. And so this was a suggestion that apparently, I use the word apparently, came from Lindsey Graham for the Georgia Secretary of State. Keep in mind, Lindsey Graham also spoke with officials in Nevada and Arizona. And we know that President Trump has mounted legal challenges pertaining to the vote count. So is it possible that Senator Lindsey Graham is essentially acting on behalf of the president? But even if he is, again, he's a South Carolina senator. So for him to essentially interfere, step into what's happening in Georgia, what's happening to Arizona, what's happening to Nevada, at the very least, is highly unusual, because, this isn't something that senators normally do. But, that's where things stand. So in an interview with CBS this morning, this was actually today, Raffensperger detailed a phone call that he had with Lindsey Graham. And, keep in mind, Lindsey Graham is one of President Trump's closest allies. And he said, and I quote, "When Senator Graham called, I just assumed that he was calling about the two runoffs for the Georgia Senate runoffs, which are coming up on the 5th of January. So I called him back. During our discussion, he asked if ballots could be matched back to the envelope. The absentee ballots, if they could be matched back to the envelope. I explained our process. And after it went through two sets of signature match, at that point they were separated. But then Senator Graham implied for us to audit the envelopes and then throw out the ballots for counties who had the highest frequency error of signatures. I tried to help explain that because we did signature match, you couldn't tie the signatures back anymore to those ballots." Just unbelievable. I mean, look, everything in politics is about insinuation, and the insinuation here is for you to judge and it's for me to report. Remember, I'm quoting the Georgia Secretary of State official, so please don't blame the messenger. Don't freak out. In fact, let's watch the Secretary of State from Georgia detailing the aspects of his phone call with Senator Lindsey Graham. I got to tell you, this is quite unusual. It's not common for a senator from one state to call individuals in multiple other states and then question the way ballots are being counted, because the local laws and the local regulations, as far as the way ballots are counted, the way all the elections are administered, is specific to that state. So, if the Georgia Secretary of State wanted to be rude to Senator Lindsey Graham, he could have said, "Hey man, it's none of your business." But, Georgia is where $200 million at least are going to be spent by the Democrats and by the Republicans, because we have a Senate runoff race coming. So the stakes are high. But why don't we listen to what the Georgia Secretary of State had to say in his own words? Let's roll the tape.
Georgia's Secretary of State says fellow Republicans are pushing him to exclude legally cast votes and that he and his wife are getting death threats over it. Brad Raffensperger told the Washington Post that GOP Senator Lindsey Graham asked him if political bias could have led poll workers to accept absentee ballots with signatures that do not match. According to the Post, Senator Graham seemed to suggest that Raffensperger find a way to throw out legal ballots. Senator Graham calls the allegation ridiculous. CBS News, by the way, projects that President-elect Biden is the winner in Georgia, where he leads by 14,000 votes. And Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger joins us now. Mr. Secretary, I want to begin with the Lindsey Graham back and forth. We have been following on this show efforts to challenge votes in a variety of states. Mostly that's been lawsuits so far. But now you're saying that Trump ally Lindsey Graham pressured you in a phone call to potentially throw out legally cast ballots. He says that's ridiculous. Why do you believe that's what his intent was?
Well, when Senator Graham called, I just assumed that he was calling about the 2 runoffs for the senators, so I called him back. And then during our discussion, he asked if ballots could be matched back to the envelope, the absentee ballots could be matched back to the envelope. I explained our process after it went through 2 sets of signature match. At that point, they were separated. But then Senator Graham applied for us to audit the envelopes and then throw out the ballots for counties who had the highest frequency error of signatures. And that I tried to, help explain that that's because we did signature match, you couldn't tie the signatures back anymore, to those ballots. Just like if you voted in person, my name is not on my ballot. And so it can't be tied back to me. It's really something that's been around for over 100 years, the secret ballot.
This is a very serious accusation. He says you guys had a pleasant conversation, calls it very nice, and says if you have a problem with it, that's on you. Was there a moment in the call where you said, I'm sorry, Mr. Senator, but what you're asking me to do or suggesting I should do is not up to me and is not right morally, legally, or otherwise?
I really just we got off the call and I said I would circle back, and I talked to counsel and I get back to him, and we just decided the best action was not to, get back and re-engage. Yeah. I thought we were going to be he's probably asking what's the status of the senator races, the runoffs. Yeah. When I went down this other path, I think the best thing was just to disengage and, move forward. Yeah. And that's what we're doing right now. We're doing 100% retallying of the votes as part of our audit.
Yeah. Above and beyond what's required, in fact.
We've had a lawsuit from an attorney named Lynn Wood, and we'll, vigorously fight that. We want to make sure that every legal vote counts and every illegal vote doesn't count.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about your life off of that call, because it's been difficult, as I understand it. You and your wife have received death threats. This after you were, in fact, endorsed by President Trump. Now Republicans are piling on. One of those threats said, "You better not botch this recount. Your life depends on it." That's pretty clear. Who do you blame for those text messages? Do you put some blame on the president and his allies who have called your work into question?
I think it's everyone that's just been spinning people up, and understand that we have a lawful process in Georgia. I'm a conservative Republican, always have been. I've never voted for a Democrat. A lot of these people that are, spinning up the crowd used to be Democrats. I've always been a conservative Republican, and I want to make sure we have a lawful process, because I think integrity still matters. We understand that we came through a tough election in 2018. Stacey Abrams lost. She lost by 53,000 votes, and she never went away. She never admitted that she was beaten. So I think making sure that we have election integrity is very important. It's making sure that we finish the drill, that we make sure that we count all legal votes. And at the end of the day, and that's what this audit is going to do, we're going to count every single paper ballot, and then those will be the results. And that is what the state will certify.
You mentioned, you've got to go on living in that state, you and your wife, long after this election is over. Are you concerned that if the president and his allies do not tone down their rhetoric or elevate their speech, as you've put it, you could have trouble?
Well, I think right now people have really inflamed emotions, and I get that. But I think eventually when people really come to, accepting the hard fact, this is what the results are. I, as a Republican, I wish the results would go another way. But I think at the end of the day, what you're going to see is this audit is going to verify what the machines counted. And then we'll certify. Then the losing candidate, if they're within 0.5%, which either one would be, they can ask for a full recount. And then we'll scan those ballots through again. That is their right. And we're going to follow state law.
Yeah, we should underscore as we part here that there's been no issue with the voting machines. Signatures were verified, and you did locate about 2,600 ballots that had not been counted the first time around. They were on a memory stick. They are now going to be counted. So you are a man who follows the law, it would appear, and has integrity in the process. So Secretary Raffensperger, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, isn't that unbelievable? Raffensperger told CBS this morning that he spoke with his legal counsel about the call from Lindsey Graham and decided, I quote, decided the best action was not to get back and re-engage. Imagine a Republican Secretary of State having to engage with legal counsel in order to decide what to do next because he or she got a call from a Republican senator from a completely different state about a vote count that has an impact on the presidential election and the future Senate runoff races. I mean, I don't see Lindsey Graham, I don't know, calling the senator in New Jersey about this. I don't see Lindsey Graham calling a senator in New York about this. So this is quite unusual. This is also something that Raffensperger said. He said, when I went down this other path, I think the best thing was just to disengage and move forward. We want to make sure that every legal vote counts and every illegal vote doesn't count. This call was actually just, again, it was unbelievable. Now, keep in mind, the South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, did talk to reporters on Capitol Hill, and he said that Raffensperger's characterization of his comments was, I quote, ridiculous. He said, this is what Senator Lindsey Graham said, I thought it was a good conversation. I'm surprised to hear him characterize it that way. And Graham said that he reached out to Raffensperger on his own, not at President Trump's behest, as he wanted to learn more about the Georgia signature verification process. And he said, this is what Lindsey Graham said, if he feels threatened by that conversation, he's got a problem. I actually thought it was a good conversation. I learned a lot about it. Rather than hearing all these internet things, I just call the guy and say, how does it work? How can you make it better? That's what Senator Lindsey Graham said. Now, as if that was, you keep in mind, that's not the end of the story. Senator Lindsey Graham also said that he spoke with officials in Arizona and Nevada about his concerns over mail-in voting for the 2020 election. By the way, this was 24 hours after the accusation from the Georgia Secretary of State, the Republican Secretary of State in the state of Georgia. He said, and I'm quoting Senator Lindsey Graham, yeah, I talked to Arizona, I talked to Nevada. And he said, as a United States Senator who's worried about the integrity of the election process, he was speaking with officials in his capacity as a United States Senator. Just unbelievable. He was also asked about whether he had spoken specifically with the Secretaries of State in Arizona and Nevada like he did in Georgia. And he said he talked to Arizona Governor Doug Ducey, and he said, and I quote, I can't remember who I talked to in Nevada, but what I'm trying to do is find out how do you verify mail-in ballots. That's what he said. Keep in mind that Senator Lindsey Graham is the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, which is a pretty powerful committee. And there was a lot of confusion because the Arizona Secretary of State, Katie Hobbs, said that she and the senator had not spoken. So pretty interesting what's going on. The Nevada Secretary of State, Barbara Kagavsky, issued a similar statement saying that she had not spoken to Graham or any other members of Congress regarding the 2020 general election in Nevada or her role in the post-election certification process. And this is pretty unusual. And I want to know what you, my viewers and subscribers, think about this rather interesting outreach from Senator Lindsey Graham to Georgia, to Arizona, to Nevada. We actually don't know who he spoke with in one of those states. So that's another interesting thing there. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll find a link to all our resources also in the description section below. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I really, really appreciate you. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please ignite that subscribe button. Please ignite that notification button. That would mean a lot to me because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. The Ignition Time channel is about the country. It's about the economy. It's about your money, and it's about our future as a country, as a nation. So please make sure you click like, and you please share this video with friends and family. You can also get on our SMS list. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000, that's 70000, and then you'll get added to our SMS alerts list. You can also, if you want, get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. You'll get added to our email list. You can opt out of the emails at any point in time that you want, or the SMSs as well. You can also, if you want, follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You'll get exclusive content from us specifically for our Instagram followers. Speaking of exclusive content, you can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also the exact same, ignition_time. That's ignition_time. When you follow us on Twitter, you'll get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter. As always, please make sure you click like, you subscribe, you enable notifications. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. That would be your vote of confidence in us. And finally, sometimes YouTube does not always send out their notifications on time. So simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. This way you can visit the homepage of our channel. You can watch any of our videos at any point in time that you want. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited that you took a few minutes of your time, your valuable time, to watch our video. Don't forget to interact with our community. Our community community is growing, it's vibrant, it's bipartisan, it's respectful, it's intelligent. Become a part of our community and comment in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to engaging with our community. And once again, please share this video with friends and family. You'll always, for all our videos, all our resources, you'll find a link to all our resources in the description section below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.